to acknowledge it and spread it around. From the Washington Times, immigrants lag behind native-born Americans on most measures of economic well-being, even those who have been in the U.S. the longest. This according to a report from the Center for Immigration Studies. And they argue that full assimilation is a more complex task than overcoming language or cultural differences. The study, which covers all immigrants, legal and illegal, and their U.S.-born children younger than 18, found that immigrants tend to make economic progress by most measures the longer they live in the U.S., but they lag well behind native-born Americans in factors like poverty, health insurance coverage, and home. Well, why would you need a survey for this? All you need to know is that the Democrat Party is sponsoring this. Once you know that, you know everything. Once you know that immigrants are lagging behind everybody, that's exactly what the Democrat Party needs. A continually replenished and growing permanent underclass. John Schnatter, Papa John's Pizza, he told shareholders in a recent quarterly earnings call, that Obamacare's changes in the law, set to go into effect in 2014, will result in higher costs for the company, which they're going to pass on to customers. In other words, Schnatter went out there and said Obamacare is going to raise pizza prices. And I thought, he's a Romney guy. He doesn't make any bones about it. He's even a donor. He's a fundraiser too. So get everything out on the table on that. But what a smart way to say it. Your pizza is going to get more. Now that might matter to people. That might actually matter. You go out and, pizza's going to get more expensive because of Obamacare. You might think, oh, gosh, that's awfully simplistic. Folks, it might actually work. I mean, that might actually reach the people who need to be reached. It's like telling them, you know what? Your Netflix bill is going to go up 20% because of Obamacare. Oh, you want to cause a panic? And next you tell them they're going to start charging you to watch entertainment to pay for Obamacare. And then you go out, and then you tell them movie tickets are going to go up by $5 because of Obama. One of the ways to get the pop culture people is tell them how Obamacare is going to make all of the things they love more expensive and place them more out of reach. Am I surprised? I don't hear you. What? Am I surprised the NBA? I didn't know the commissioner was. I thought a bunch of players were. David Stern, the commissioner of the NBA, doing a fundraiser. The only thing, well, I'm not disputing it. The only thing I saw in the story was they're selling Michael Jackson's going to be there. That you could come in, and if you donate enough money, you might be able to shoot some hoops with the NBA guys, and Michael Jackson's one. Huh? Jordan, that's what I said. Michael Jordan, that's what I meant. That kind of surprised me in a way, because Jordan stayed away from this stuff, because Republicans buy Nikes too, ostensibly. But I didn't know the commissioner was going to be part of it. I guess, no, I'm not surprised. The commissioner's a big lib. I happen to know this. I just happen to. So no, it doesn't surprise me at all whatsoever. The NBA commissioner be part of it, but I did not see that as part of the story. And since you told me, Snerdley, I still don't believe it. Okay, I'm just kidding. Here's more Romney from Des Moines. Campaign event this morning, continuing to pound Obama on ripping the work requirements out of welfare reform.
It was an extraordinary success. Back at that time, then Senator Obama was opposed to putting work together with welfare. Now he's president, and just a few days ago, he put that original intent in place. With a very careful executive action, he removed the requirement of work from welfare. It is wrong to make any change that would make America more of a nation of government dependency. We must restore, and I will restore, work into welfare.
Right. Now, the regime is really upset about this. I don't understand why they're this upset about it. I can understand them being ticked off that anybody would dare challenge them because they're their messiahs. But they are really off the deep end over this. And this is pretty mild. I mean, this was pretty vanilla, what Romney said. And I don't think we should have a dependency society. When I get in there, I'm going to put the work requirements back. And they're livid. By the way, it was more than just the work requirements that were taken out of this. Republican welfare reform that Clinton signed into law back in the 90s included other changes. There were stricter conditions for food stamp eligibility. There were reductions in immigrant welfare assistance. Both of those things have been taken out as well as the work requirements. It's not just the work requirements that are gone. It really toughened up the law, and it worked. The welfare rolls were cut in half. That's not insignificant. Welfare assistance rolls were cut by 50%. And this got the regime just fit to be tied. Here's the Romney ad, by the way. This is the ad that they're calling racist, as racial undertones. They are angrier about this ad. I'm not kidding. They're angrier about this ad than you and I are about their ad accusing Romney of killing the guy's wife.
In 1996, President Clinton and a bipartisan Congress helped end welfare as we know it by requiring work for welfare.
Big deal!
But on July 12th, President Obama quietly announced a plan to gut welfare reform by dropping work requirements. Under Obama's plan, you wouldn't have to work and wouldn't have to train for a job. They just send you your welfare check. And welfare to work goes back to being plain old welfare. Mitt Romney will restore the work requirement because it works.
They are over the moon angry at this. And maybe they're upset because he's talking about all the bipartisan. Hell, I don't know. I think that's the least important factor in all of this. But still, here's the spokeskid, Jake Carney. Yesterday afternoon at White House, Q&A, reporter said Romney campaign came out a new ad accusing the president of gutting welfare reform. Said the administration has turned welfare into a blank check for states without any work requirements. Now, from a policy standpoint, spokeskid, does the White House feel that offering states this flexibility has somehow undermined the work requirement?
This advertisement is categorically false, and it is blatantly dishonest. This administration's policy will strengthen the program by giving states the opportunity to employ more effective ways to help people get off welfare and into a job. Under this policy, governors must commit that their proposals will move at least 20% more people from welfare to work. This waiver policy that we're discussing was specifically requested by two Republican governors, Governor Herbert of Utah and Governor Sandoval of Nevada.
Now, they're fit to be tied, but Obama did all this in secret. If this is such a wonderful thing, why didn't he call a press conference? Or at least, if not a press conference, a big event in the Rose Garden and signal this and tell everybody all these wonderful benefits. And lay this off on these two Republican governors who wanted waivers from this. Why not do it? Instead of doing it under the cover of darkness on a weekend where nobody could see it. And you announce it later that it's done. Axelrod was calling it racist. Now he's calling it blatantly dishonest and an attack. So they got people fanning out all over the place on this. On Piers Morgan last night, the guy who's lost over 70% of Larry King's audience and it was no great shakes to begin with. Piers Morgan talking to Obama campaign press secretary Ben LaBolt, not to be confused with Usain Bolt. Do you see what he did, by the way? The track guy. The guy got to run the 100 meters in 5 seconds. Faster than you can send a text on your iPhone. He ran the 100 meters in under 10 seconds. Anyway, he was being interviewed by some sports babe, and the national anthem starts at a medal ceremony somewhere else at the other end of the track. Did not involve him, and he stopped. He's from Jamaica. He stopped, put his hand over his heart, faced the flag, stopped his own interview for our national anthem, Usain Bolt. Obama wouldn't do that. So anyway, this is Ben LaBolt, and Piers Morgan said apparently you're dishing out all sorts of handouts to people that don't deserve it here. You're expanding welfare to basic giveaway program. What about that?
This latest attack is false and it's hypocritical. The entire purpose of this program is to move more people from welfare to work. If there's a state that can design a more effective program and prove to the federal government that they can move 20% more people from welfare to work, we'll act on it. The governors who requested this are Republican governors in the states of Nevada and Utah who said they could design more effective programs.
The problem with this is Obama doesn't want to put people back to work. Obama wants to overwhelm this country with welfare recipients. That's the fastest way to bring about the transformation that he wants. Over on CBS this morning, Jan Crawford, and her report on the Romney welfare reform ad.
Romney's message is part of a broader theme the campaign will be hitting hard in coming weeks, arguing that President Obama is in fact changing America by making more people depend on big government to take care of them while hardworking taxpayers foot the bill. Now, in a campaign that's already tinged with class warfare and attacks on Romney's wealth, this could be a potent counter message with independents in these key swing states.
So, could be a potent message, really hard-hitting message out there. Could really go out there and change the minds of the independents. So they're going nuts over this, no matter where you go, over Romney's little welfare reform ad. And I got to take a break. Time goes by. We'll be back and continue after this.